Today, we're diving into the smallest deployable unit in Kubernetes, the pod. So, what exactly is a pod? Think of a pod as a wrapper. It wraps one or more containers together and gives them everything they need to run in the cluster. In most cases, a pod contains just one container, like a single app or service. But sometimes, you might run multiple tightly coupled containers in the same pod. Containers in the same pod share the same network namespace. That means they can talk to each other on localhost, just like they're on the same machine. They also share the same storage volumes, so they can read and write to the same data if needed. Pods are ephemeral, they're not meant to live forever. If a pod dies, Kubernetes might create a new one, but it will have a different IP and identity. That's why we usually don't create pods directly in production. Instead, we use higher-level abstractions like deployments or replica sets to manage them. But for learning or debugging, you can create a pod directly using a YAML file or the command line. Here's a simple example of a pod that runs a container. API version tells Kubernetes which version of the API you're using. You can specify what kind of resource you're trying to create. Under metadata, we give this pod a name. The spec section defines the specifications, what the pod actually does, what it runs. You can give list of containers which will be running inside pod. You can create this pod by saving the YAML to a file called pod.yaml and run the following command.